from your standpoint, what's the best way to get on home where I live, in my house?
I don't know where that house is. I really don't. The only house I know that you live in is this house. It's really the only house I know.
But when you're here, you don't just stay here all the time. When I'm here, you do.
I do. Yeah, I've been here for almost 2 months.
Okay.
2 months I've almost been here. Yeah. Yeah, almost 2 months. Let's see here. I've noticed that I'm starting to get dark circles under my eyes. At least it shows up on that camera. Yeah. Anyway, what I'm about to read to you is Jeremiah 51. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't concentrate. I'm not going to be looking at you. I'll be looking at that because I feel this video is going to be deleted. So I'll be concentrating on you. Dark circles and all. What I'm about to read to you is Jeremiah chapter 51, which, before the Saddam statue went down in Baghdad, I thought was going to mean that it was talking about the end of the world. I have no idea if it's still that way now. I have no idea, but all I know is that I thought that Jeremiah 50:51 were prophesying the situation with Iraq since Saddam invaded Kuwait back in 1990. And anyway, I used to think that Babylon was Russia. Then I thought it was America. Then I thought it was Russia again. And then Iraq invaded Kuwait, and then I thought it was Iraq. But now I don't think it's Iraq anymore. I think it's ISIS or Islam. So that's the latest thing right now. And who knows what I'll think in the future. But right now, I think Babylon's probably talking about Islam. But certain things happen in it that makes me think it's also talking about Iraq too. Because Babylon is located in Iraq. And now ISIS is located in Iraq. Okay. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And who knows what that means? You know? Nuclear, who knows? And I'll send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And I think this might have come true at the end of the first Gulf War, because when the Shiites in the south and the Kurds in the north rose up against Saddam, it was helicopter gunships that emptied the Kurds and Shiites out of the land, out of Iraq. It put them up on the mountains. Well, at least it puts the Kurds up on the mountains and chased the Shiites into the marshes. Yeah. So I think that was probably fulfilled already with the end of the Gulf War with Saddam and the helicopter gunships on the Kurds and Shiites. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth up himself in his brigandine armor, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. And that's happening, looks like it's about ready to happen big time when ISIS comes to, well, it's happened many times before, but possibly with ISIS here. against him that benefited. Yeah. I mean, okay. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of Chaldeans, and Chaldea, I believe, is located where Kuwait is located now. And they that are thrust through, and they that are thrust through inner streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah his God, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. So, even though Israel is not, totally innocent, this is for Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and which I think could be fleeing out of Iraq. At least I thought it was for the longest time fleeing out of Iraq. And since Babylon is in Iraq, it's probably talking about ISIS now. So flee out of the midst, which I believe is Islam. So flee out of the midst of Islam, and deliver a man his soul, and be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So in other words, Islam is done, it's going to get it. Babylon, or Iraq, or Islam, or Saudi Arabia, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's the reason why I went into Iraq to begin with, because it was for the oil and for the gasoline. That's really it. Yeah, Babylon been a golden cup from the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. That's the reason why we bother with Iraq, is because of the oil and the wine, or the gasoline. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon. Now I think this is talking about the UN inspectors. We would have healed Iraq, but since Saddam kept acting like he had weapons of mass destruction and didn't let him get access, we would have killed Babylon, killed Iraq, but she is not healed. Forsake her, leave her, and let us go everyone into his own country, because of the UN, they're from all these nations, and so they left. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even unto the skies. Skies, not just one sky, but you had like Operation Southern Watch during the 90s, Operation Northern Watch for the Kurds in the skies. That's what I think that was talking about. For judgment reaches unto heaven, is lifted up even to the skies, and then judgment came with 2003, and looks like it might happen again here. For the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Okay, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the kings of the Medes. And where the Medes are located in our time. I mean, the Medes are from Media. And in ancient times, it was where the Medes are located in northern Iraq. And basically where the Kurds are located in western Iran. The spirit of the Medes. Not that it'll raise up the Medes, but the spirit of the Medes. For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. So apparently, I don't know if that means the Bible. I don't know if that means I don't know if that means the actual temple, and God just has a real grudge against that time, or because of Islam killing people, destroying your temple, sawing off heads and stuff like that. Who knows? Okay, set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon, defenses of Babylon, make the watch strong. I put, drones and things in our time. And also there was Northern Watch and there was Southern Watch. Southern Watch was to help make sure that the Kurds weren't, that the Shiites weren't attacked by Saddam's things. And Northern Watch was to make sure that the Kurds weren't attacked by Saddam. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. So now we know where to hit. The Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. And he spake in a bit against them right here, in Jeremiah 51 here. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, oil, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. They covet, right now with ISIS, they covet all, not just Iraq and Syria, they're calling themselves IS now, IS, because they want all the area. All the Middle East, even in Spain. And of course, it would be more than that once they got it. The Lord of hosts to set up the caliphate. It's hot. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, Surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. I wonder, is this some time to... I still have some time here. Okay, continue here. Yeah. He hath made the river by his power. This is talking about God. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. And if you study astronomy, it sounds like it's still being stretched out. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Yeah, we know. Thunder and lightning usually happens when there's a lot, Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, idols. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of error. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. And Saddam had a lot of images all of himself all over Iraq. So did Assad. And when the Muslims came in, they destroyed them. Even knocked down the Saddam statue. That was one of his images destroyed in the time of the visitation. American troops at that time. Of course, the Kurds also destroyed pictures of Saddam at the end of the first Gulf War. Okay, I shot up pictures and stuff. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee I will just break in pieces the horse and his rider. This could be talking about car bombs, And with me I'll break in pieces the chariot and his rider, Alright, and it goes on. All these, I think I might have lost it here. Yeah. Oh, I better stop it here. Bye.